Alright, I ended up backing up some files today, and by some files I mean like many gigabytes of files, so my uploading capacity is kinda occupied for the next couple of hours, and I won't have enough time to stream, so here we go, Islanders instead. Yeah, new game. High score. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not streaming today, but I've had a good morning. I left work. I went on a nice long walk. Had breakfast. Worked out. Good shit. It was around 6 or 7 in the morning. Almost 7 in the morning by the time I got around to walking. I'm walking because I'm trying to work up to running again, but mentally I'm not there yet. I get psyched out. Running around other people or running where I feel like people can see or watch me. I get a lot of performance anxiety in a lot of different ways. Not from talking, not from speaking, even on stage, even in front of like thousands or hundreds of people, don't give a shit. Weirdly enough. But I hate being seen making mistakes. So I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to start with something I am comfortable with, which is walking, so I'm on top of running up and down the stairs at work instead of taking the elevator, which, 12 stories of stairs is not a fucking joke, and can get real tiring real fast, but it's pretty good. Then I'm walking like, 3 or 4 miles a day. Hopefully I'll start running half of that and then walking half of that. I wanna be running about 2 miles a day is my long-term goal. Well, medium-term goal. Medium-term goal? Yeah, whatever. Oh, it was really pretty. Like, the sky was not super colorful because the water was west of me rather than east of me. Alright? Hold on, east of me rather than west of me. So the sun wasn't rising over it, but still got some sweet pastel colors. And that was really enjoyable. Took a lot of pictures. Was on my phone like the entire time, chatting with someone I'm dating, have been dating. I don't know. We haven't really discussed, or I haven't brought up, how I should refer to them. Someone I've been going on dates with, yeah. Someone I like a lot. I was talking to them a lot, and it was a really nice morning. Would have been better if, they'd been there with me, but also at the same time, even if you really miss someone, it can be nice to just miss them. Like, it can be a good feeling knowing that you care enough about somebody or somebody means enough to you or whatever to miss them. That's pretty affirming. I mean, it sucks, but it's pretty affirming. Yeah, my battery was dying. I need to order actual running shoes and clothes that I can comfortably run in. I mean, I have clothes I can comfortably run in, but I don't want to get those clothes sweaty and have to wash them all the time because I like wearing them other times. So I was out walking in fucking yoga pants and hiking boots today. It's just my aesthetic. I was a little self-conscious about it, but it's just like, this is comfortable in what I want to wear, and I've been working all night, so yeah. It was morning, so it was low tide, and I hadn't been to the trail I went to, which I'm not gonna say where it is, but if you're smart, you can probably put it together. Oh, peanut. Oh. That's what you get, Alex. I metaphorically inhaled. Oh my god, a peanut. A handful of peanuts before streaming. And just now, literally inhaled one. Oh god, that's pleasant. That's pleasant. Don't be like me, kids. Take your time when you're eating. Oh. Anyway, there we go. I regained my capacity for speech. That was fun. It was cool to see the park at high tide. I'd been there Saturday morning with the person I was talking about earlier. And we had sat by the beach. It was romantic. And honestly, we had been hanging out all night, so it was nice being outside for a little bit. And my brain was kind of fried, and I was spiraling a little bit and kind of stuck in my own head, so it was nice to get outside and breathe a little. So it was a really good suggestion on their part. I was being not agoraphobic, because I'm not agoraphobic and I don't want to use that word because I don't actually know what that's like for folks who have it, but I was a little feeling like a shut-in. I'm glad I got pulled out of there. Anywho, I went to a spot that we went to, and we were pretty close to the water before. Like nowhere near the water this morning, which, God, it's so cool to me, the whole fucking world that's hidden underwater. And just the topography and the breadth of it, just how much there is. It's mind-boggling. So I got a 9 here. I don't like how it doesn't fit together. Okay, that'll work. And I got some pretty okay photos. I've really been wanting to get more and more into photography. Really, the thing keeping me from doing it right now are good cameras. Are fucking expensive. They're cheaper than they used to be, but they're still fucking expensive. Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into photography for a lot of reasons. One, it's a way I can make art that isn't super time consuming, but still requires a lot of thought and intentional effort, and is something I have a pretty good eye for. I don't know about like a really good eye for. I mean, maybe I do, but I kind of want to be humble front loading this because I don't know, there are people who make amazing photographers, and I'm okay. I'm pretty good. Yeah, and I've been looking at a lot of photos that have been making me want to get into, well, not modeling exactly, but shooting for people who want modeling photos. It's always so weird describing photography because you shoot people. You go on a shoot and you go shooting. And in the common vernacular of the English language, those are more violent things than they involve with photography. I really Really, I think I was watching. Oh God, it's on Netflix. There's a documentary series about different artists and graphic designers. It's really, really good. Cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but Google it. I'm sure you'll figure it out. It's really fucking good. But there's one that's about a famous photographer. Forget his name. Or famous studio, I should say, because he doesn't work alone. And he's talking about like working in dark rooms and like spending so much of his life in rooms lit by dim red lights. And I'm like, oh God, I want that. I want to work in dark rooms again. It's so. Oh, it's so nice. You feel far away from the world, and time kind of stops, and it's peaceful still, but also like a lot of the dark rooms I've been in, people have been blasting music, and you can just kind of make it whatever you want to be. It's a blank slate, tabula rasa, which for me really helps with getting the creative juices flowing. I kind of hate that expression, but that's what I'm thinking about and talking about. Like when I write, or when I paint, or really when I make art, what helps me the most is to not fucking think about it. If I think about it, it can go all kinds of different ways, but if I don't think about it and just kind of feel it and do it and just let it happen on its own, that's when it turns out well. It's like, I don't know, creating art for me is like turning on a water faucet or something, or flipping over a bucket. You don't force the water out, it's just gravity, it's just physics. All you're doing is turning a nozzle and letting it happen. And I feel like there's this pent-up potential, in the same way that the water in the bucket has potential energy when you turn it around because of gravity. I feel like there's emotion and thought and all of these things that have potential, artistic potential, emotional potential, and just being able to find a way to get in a flow state where that can come out on its own, get in kind of a fugue state and just channel that. Channel is such a good word, that's what I wanted. Is so fucking satisfying. Now I miss that about dark rooms a lot. There's a lot of precision and a lot of, like, if you're just doing portraits of people, and I say just, that's still, you know, not the easiest thing in the world, then, you know, it's a little different than the weird art I make in dark rooms using the photoreactive chemicals to make weird designs on 8x10s or on prints. I just really love and miss, dearly, dearly miss, the energy of being in artistic spaces. I know, I could go find artistic spaces to join, and I don't really identify as an artist. Like, I make art, and art means a lot to me, and critiquing art, thinking about art, talking about art, yeah, those are big, big things in my life, but I don't think anything I make is... And, it's so bad that I've internalized this. In my mind, artist is a profession. Artist is something that you need to be able to profit from or make a living off of in order to call yourself an artist. Now, if somebody called themselves an artist, but they did not make a living from it, I would not tell them that they were not an artist. It's just what I tell myself. That, well, Alex, you don't make money off of this, and you didn't go to school for this, and so you're not a real artist. It's a good old inferiority complex, imposter syndrome goodness right there. But yeah, I mean, the truth is, if you make art, you're an artist. If you make money from art, well, then you make money as an artist. And you can be an artist and never profit a day in your life, because profit should not be the end-all be-all decider in what your identity is. But we live in such a toxic culture, toxic society, toxic economic system, socio-economic system really, that when you meet someone new, the courteous thing to do is to ask, like, what do you do for a living? Not like, what moves you, or what do you care about, what keeps you up at night, or what do you dream about, or what do you miss more than anything in the world, or what makes you cry, or what gets you excited, or what's your favorite color, what's your favorite song, or what's your favorite kind of music? What do you do for a living? Is so often the small talk go-to. And it kind of makes sense, right? We're trying to gauge the social status of these people, how wealthy or not wealthy they are, how much a relationship with them might prove to be valuable socially, financially. And, you know, to some extent, I think all relationships are selfish in a sensible way, that you really shouldn't be in a relationship if you're not getting anything out of it, whether it be emotional fulfillment or joy or money or power. Like, I don't think people stay in relationships that literally don't do anything for them. I just don't feel like the motivation would be there, psychologically. And because I believe that, I do have a bit of a... I have a fear of not being enough for people. I tend to slip into inferiority complexes pretty easily. I tend to get anxious pretty easily, and self-depreciating. And I need more reassurance and affirmation from people than I want to. For a long time, I acted as if I didn't need or want affirmation. I lived my life that way, but it was deeply unhealthy, and I was very depressed because I was making do, and I'm very capable of living on my own and not having friends and not being around family and not having a support system. I'm pretty capable. I can handle it. But just because you can handle something does not mean that you should be contented with it or settle for it. And the sad truth is, I did settle for it for a long time. I do regret that. Lost a lot of time that way. I didn't lose the time, I spent the time and invested the time in different ways, and those ways had value, but now I'm looking back over my life at like fucking 27, and, you know, wishing I had started doing things earlier. I wish I had started being openly pan or poly like way earlier, or that I had been more expressive about my gender identity instead of just keeping it like very quiet and private and nervous. But a lot of that had to do with the way I was raised, and society that I'm in, and societal factors and fear, and also like presenting as a cishet white dude is pretty fucking beneficial in our society. So when people are like, yes, Alex is just a doodly dude, manly. I don't think I'm manly, but just one of the guys, or call me sir or something like that. I mean, socially, it's capital. Socially, that privilege is worth a lot. So it's was always kind of hard to stick my nose up at, because I mean, it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me, like, dysphoric. Exactly. More just like, eh. Where the fuck am I gonna put this? I did this stupid thing I like doing and just slammed all these underneath the island, and now there's nowhere to put these houses. Alright, well, you made this bed, Alex. Yeah, but I wish I had started being more brave. Really, more brave about a lot of things when I was younger. Now, I'm glad that I have the opportunity now to explore things and express things and pursue things that I had been putting off or denying or avoiding for years and years and years, and better late than never. But all the same, it has been eating at me, particularly lately. And I don't know how I segued into this. I'm trying so hard to remember what the fuck I was talking about. No, sure don't remember. But at the same time, I advocate for people to be patient with themselves. Take the time that they need for things. Think things through, feel things out, breathe, and yeah, it's easy to feel anxious and like there's no time, and you have to make decisions or revelations now, because if you don't, then what's going to happen? But in some sense, there's always more time. There isn't, actually, always more time, but it doesn't really do you any good to fixate on it and get all wrapped up in it. Yeah, but I completely forgot where I was going with that. That's okay. I had a good week. I had a really good weekend. The person I'm dating and I only see each other once a week, because we live a fair distance away from each other, and we both work nights, and they have another partner, and I work a fuck ton. So it's really difficult to find time where, well, not really difficult. There's like one specific day a week that works really well for both of us. And I'm trying my damnedest to enjoy that day and be grateful for that day and, be appreciative. But holy hell is it hard, because my brain is just like, yeah, but I like you, and I miss you, and I want to hang out with you more, and I want to see you more, and I don't like that I can't. My brain is an impatient and petulant little child right now. But patience is not all that it's cooked up to be. What the hell is the expression? Not all that it's cracked up to be. There we go. Not all that. What a fucking weird expression. What on earth does cracked up to be even mean? You know what? Cracked up to be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but origin. Dictionary. It's not disappointing. It does not live up to its reputation. Yeah, but or rage. Yeah. What? The origin of the phrase is unclear. Of note, the word crack or crack is said to have derived from Middle English word crack, which, according to Wikipedia, means bragging talk. Huh. It's not all that it's bragged up to be. Okay, I guess that kinda checks out. Kinda. Well, whatever. Patience is not all that it's cracked up to be. It's a virtue, but even virtues in excess can be vices. And you can spend so much time being patient and waiting for something that you miss out on other opportunities and other chances, and life can slowly pass you by while you're just patiently waiting. I've been in a lot of long-distance relationships in my life, and really, I've grown to feel very apprehensive about them. For that reason. Because you spend so much time building up the desire for this thing, this person, this relationship, to have a physical element, to be able to actually see each other and hear each other's voice, not just through a telephone or Skype or whatever the fuck, but, you know, really hear them, really see them, really touch them, really feel them, really just share space with them. So I'm struggling a little bit. I'm trying to be patient and meditative and mindful and appreciative, but it's hard. Like, I really like them. I know, I've been a fucking broken record about this lately, and dude, it's just it'll deal with it. It's just tough shit. Yeah. It's hard to settle on if being patient is a good thing. For me, right now. Because I'm being patient, and I'm a fairly patient person, but at the same time, I'm also, like, really embarrassingly into this person. Embarrassing because, like, the intensity and how just absolutely mushy and pathetic I've been. I like generally being a bit more confident and not coy, but sometimes coy. I like feeling more in control, I guess. Sometimes not. Sometimes very much not. But particularly because I just, in recent months, got out of a long-term relationship that was, you know, a lot. I wasn't really planning on this, and I talked about this last time. I'm just a broken record. The beach was nice. Listen, I recognize I've been pretty fixated, and fixating can be problematic. I think I've talked about how fixating can be problematic somewhat recently, but fixating on things can lead and contribute to building them up larger than life, or creating unfair or unrealistic expectations or desires that, when they're not met, you're still disappointed by, even though they were never expressed or agreed upon. Fixating can be intense and exhausting, and sometimes push people away. I've been pushed away by it before, and I've pushed people away with it many times. I'm a very intense person. Which, personally, I see as a pro. It's a good thing. I don't plan on simmering down. There was a 69 earlier. I swear to God, I saw a 69. I want it back. Alright, there was a 50 there. Yeah, nice. Nice. Alright, can I get like a 72 though? Or alright, it's the same temperature as my apartment. It's interesting to reflect on values and virtues that I was raised to believe were good. Just like universal good. Like patience or trying to ignore what you want and focus on what you need. Stuff like that. But now, I'm like, no, you know, it's important, yeah, but I spent so much of my time, so much of my life focusing on getting by and surviving and being patient and waiting and being sure they'll have another opportunity or a better opportunity or whatever else. I'm pretty fucking sick of it. I'm like, oh, yeah. Right now I'm feeling really impatient. In a good way, in like a really good way. I'm feeling motivated, but also like done taking shit from the part of my brain that gets scared. Now this will go in a cycle, right? It almost always does, and the longer I've lived, the better I've gotten at reading these cycles and living with them and yada yada. But right now I'm very much in a place of let's just take, you know, I'm not doing anything crazy, but take risks and explore things and do things that might not make like financial sense or might not make career sense, but do things that make you happy. Because I'm in a pretty financially stable position. You know, I'm not super happy where I'm at financially. I obviously like more money. Happiness raises, the average happiness of people goes up until you hit about $70,000 or $80,000 a year. When the original study was done in the mid 2000s, it was 56,000 or 60,000 a year, but due to inflation, it's a little bit higher now. So, I mean, that'd be nice. But I'm hitting the point where I have enough money to do things that I've been wanting to do. I feel like I can afford to do things that I've just told myself I couldn't afford, or I didn't have time for, or I didn't have energy for. And I've been trying to make time and make space and make energy for them. And I don't know, there's not really an end goal here. I basically set 2 timers for myself. One is January 1st. Obviously I won't shut the hell up about it, dieting, and I've started working out, and by January 1st on January 1st, I'm going to sit back and review the metrics. And I mean, I review the metrics on like a weekly basis, but I'm going to go back over the whole year and review the metrics and look at how things have changed and how they haven't, what's worked and what hasn't, what I've liked and what I haven't liked, and then probably make a new plan for the new year. And then I'm gonna go see a doctor. I've been putting off going to a doctor for a long time. I'm relatively healthy, but I don't really know that. I just think that. And the reason why I want to put off going to the doctor until the new year is so that I have insurance, right? And if I go now and I spend anything, that deductible does not roll over to the new year. So it's October, right? I have to wait November, December, and then I can start accruing a deductible through January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All 12 months of that, rather than just trying to squeeze it in. And God, the American fucking insurance and healthcare system is absolutely fucked. But there's some small things like my hand tremors that have gone undiagnosed my entire life, and it's kind of fine, but I'd like to dig into that, and that could get expensive to dig into, so I'm putting it off. I want to make sure that my diet is actually working for me, and my fitness regime is actually healthy and working for me, so I want to give it a few months and then go in and get a read from them. I also want to get a vasectomy, and the United States hates people willingly giving up their fertility, but dude, I don't want a kid. I'm kind of abstractly curious about what it'd be like to have kids. Like, conceptually, how weird and interesting it would be to have like a small half clone of me running around, and like, ooh, how would they grow up, and how would they be like me and not like me, and ooh, like, that is super, super attractive, not gonna lie. I have the same biological imperative programmed into me as anyone else, but dog, the planet's overpopulated, we are over consuming like crazy, and if I do want to foster and raise and parent little human beings, there are many little human beings that are in need of adoptive caretakers, or could benefit from adoptive caretakers. They don't need it. Folks who aren't raised with paternal figures. Wow, what is the gender neutral of paternal? English is a fucked language. Folks who were raised outside of traditional nuclear families are not any worse off, but, there are options. Right? And I don't want to ever worry about or have to think about the minute chance that I could knock someone up. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to do it on purpose. I don't want to do it on accident. I just don't fucking want that. But a vasectomy on my insurance in this part of the country, in my network, costs between $600 and $1,800. Which isn't a ton. That's, not a small chunk of change. So part of it is me needing to save up for that too. And if I'm blowing that much money on one expected medical procedure, and that's assuming that there are no complications or any other things I have to pay, and God knows there will be, because we're a capitalist hellhole and there's always something. I want that to be paid into my deductible so that I don't have... It's not just vaporizing with the new year. And there are some other things I'm thinking about, but I'm really on the fence about. Really feel like I missed the bus, or missed the boat, there we go, with a few things that I've been curious about for a long time. But that's why I'm giving myself until the new year, so I can think about it more, feel it out more, and later deal with it. And to that end, I'm journaling, I'm keeping track of the way that I'm thinking about these things and feeling about these things, and how I'm doing physically and medical concerns or whatever else. And hopefully that will be helpful in getting over the fact that the doctor that I'm going to see, whoever it is, I've seen a few people I'm okay with, but nobody I'm super in love with. we don't have to deal with that awkward stepping stone of, hey, you don't know me, but I know I want this, and I know you, for professional reasons, need to get to know me before you can be like, ah, sure, dude. But I really just want to cut down on that amount of time as much as possible. A lot of this urgency has been motivated by this person I'm dating, and here we go again. Take a drink every time. Gonna be as love drunk as I am. They're pretty incredible. They're pretty incredible with how much they're doing and how much they've done in their life. They are younger than me. I'm not gonna say by how much, but they're younger than me. And in a way, a lot of the awe and amazement and respect and admiration that I've been feeling towards them, and there's quite a bit of it, has also been reflected internally with questioning, why did I take so long to do this or that, or why haven't I done that yet, or why wasn't I brave enough or ready enough or whatever enough to tackle things like this when I was your age. And I kind of hate that I'm unironically throwing around when I was your age a lot more than I am prepared for. It's good. It's been really good, but also like embarrassing. I've spent years just trying to not be sad, trying to not be depressed. I've run back and forth across the country, from friends to friends, from homes to homes, struggling just to feel like I belong and feel like I can succeed somewhere, just wrapping my head around the possibility of success and survival and happiness is even a vague possibility. Like, I really, really struggled with that. I didn't have my first real job until like 2016. I was like 24. And for the rest of my 20s, I was living off of student loans and the incredible support of my family and really, really, really good budgeting. I am like an amazing fucking budgeter. But, you know, I put so many things on hold, being like, once I get a job, or once I have money, or once things stabilize, I'll look into that, and I'll look into that, and I'll look into that. And that didn't help. That really didn't help. Because instead, I just felt bad that I wasn't doing these things I wanted to do, that I wasn't being the person that I wanted to be. I wasn't having the life that I wanted to live. And instead, I just deferred it and deferred it and deferred it. And it's so damn easy to do. And in truth, in some ways, I'm still doing it. I'm trying to get better at it, at not doing it, and I'm making progress, but well, because I've taken my time so much, because I have proceeded so cautiously and slowly, it has, in a way, got me to a point where if I want to catch up, and I know there's no catching up, everybody's on their own journey, and it's not a competition, but fuck you, kind of it is. I need to be taking radical action. I need to be taking pretty drastic and direct action. Hence the pretty extreme diet that I jumped on of like, okay, I'm just gonna restructure everything and eat this exact regimented thing. And now I'm starting to do that with working out, though, you know, I have a lot more to learn about that before I can really say with any degree of confidence that it's a lot. Basically, right now, it's stylized as a grade scale starting from F, which is actually less physically proficient than I am. Weirdly enough, I thought I'd be an F, but I'm tracking every day how quickly I'm walking, or eventually jogging, and eventually running 2 miles. I'm tracking how many push-ups and sit-ups I can do under 2 minutes. And the reason why those are my 3 criteria is because those 3 criteria are used by the United States Armed Forces in the physical qualifications for enlisting in or moving in, progressing in training for various branches of the armed forces. And interestingly enough, a lot of them are kind of tiered. Like there's a lot of shit talking in the culture of the armed forces of the United States of like, oh, these people are the real badasses, or oh, they don't do any work. But I mean, there is some interesting precedent for that set in the requirements to enlist. And no, I don't plan on enlisting. It's just a good threshold, a good metric that I assume was established. I'm assuming with all the fucking money we pour into the military that these must have been decently well thought out at least. And yeah, I'll keep working on it. This is just like a phase 1 thing. But also like, you know thine enemy kind of thing. I'm not calling myself an enemy of the United States, but just like police forces and armed forces are used to suppress and control the population. That's their function. And now what the population is circumstantial and dependent on different factors, but you know, it doesn't seem like a terrible idea to be like, okay, this is what I want to live up to, or could be met with or faced with. And I'm not a violent person. I have no intentions of becoming one. But it's a fun metric. It's an interesting way to look at it. Now, I'm being this intentional about it, and I'm being this direct about it, and I'm being this aggressive, I guess, about it because I feel like I have to. I really want to give myself a chance to give it a shot. Do I want to be a super active person? Probably not. Honestly, like, a little active, healthy, yeah. But like, super active? That ain't me. That like, definitively ain't me. Wow, so like, fuck this island. But before I think about any... I don't know, I want to see what my body is capable of. I've spent a lot of time forming opinions about it, but I've never really put myself in a position where I am trying to prime it for physical performance in certain very specific capacities in order to study, okay, exactly how quickly do I gain muscle, or how quickly can I improve at this, and what do I feel my limit is, or my threshold is for X, Y, or Z, and how do I feel about that, rather than just being like, I don't like physical activity because I'm bad at it, or I don't like running because I'm bad at it, or I don't like being seen running because I'm afraid of being embarrassed by people, I don't know, judging me, or laughing at me, or whatever else. And the damn thing is, it's not just like laughing. What started it when I was a kid, this anxiety, was people cheering for me. I played soccer when I was younger, and people obviously cheered when you get the ball, and when you're doing well, when you're running it down the field, when you have a shot, all kinds of times. But people cheering me on meant that I could let them down, meant that I could fail, and I could disappoint them. And if instead I didn't try, they wouldn't be disappointed. If I acted like I didn't care, like I was too cool for it, or too good for it, or whatever, then they wouldn't be disappointed. I wouldn't be embarrassed. And it just seemed easier. Emotionally, it seemed easier. Obviously, that's a very unproductive, unhelpful, and unhealthy way to think about it, but that's what I internalized at a pretty young age, and I, oh god, have been slowly eating at that and picking at that and deconstructing that and tearing that apart and trying to unlearn that and teach myself new and different behaviors and modes of thinking. Oh my god, it takes a while. Now, rightfully, you might think, Alex, what might help with that is a trained professional, a doctor of the mind. And to that I say, yeah, but Washington has some of the worst mental health care in the country. Seattle's mental health care providers are really oversaturated. And it's scary. It's scary, and it's not the being vulnerable part, because clearly I'm capable of doing that, right? It's the time and the effort. It's not like being the problem isn't being accountable to someone. I like being accountable to people, and I like being called out when I'm mucking up. Well, I don't know. It's hard to pin down. Makes me pretty anxious, though. Like, I went to counseling for one fucking session when I was with my last partner. And we went to... Basically, the counselor was in a graduate program, and they didn't have qualifications yet. And that put me off quite a bit. Like, it didn't feel like good quality care. They felt flustered and like going through motions that they've been taught, which, like, dude, we were polite and cordial and it was fine, but like I had no desire to go back at all, because I had absolutely no faith in their ability to help moderate things whatsoever. Like, I need to be in a place where I actually want to go and want to be there and want to be pursuing it. It needs to be something that I'm not halfway begrudgingly doing. I need to be on board, right? And I'm trying to get to the point where I'm on board, but I'm not quite there yet. Now, once the new year hits, that's something else on the list. And that's another reason why I've been trying to write more and journal more, is to use that to help give them an idea of who I am, what I'm about, what I'm struggling with, what I'm working with, that I've been thinking about and working with these issues for a while, like what I've come to on my own, and yada yada yada. And God, it's just it's so fucking inefficient talking to people. It takes so long to convey information in a way that people really intuitively understand you, and I'm so goddamn tired of doing it. I moved around a decent amount as a kid, and I got tired of it then, and it just made me jaded as hell as an adult. And I have to really like you to want you to get to know me, to put in the time and effort to share with you. But that's fine and all, Alex, but you don't always have that opportunity. You don't always get to pick and choose. Sometimes you just gotta not settle, but you gotta deal with the awkward unpleasantries of getting to know someone for the umpteenth million fucking time. It's so bad at this point that I've met so many people that new people to me in my brain are just combined Frankenstein's monsters of people that I've known. Like, oh, this part of them reminds me of this person, and this part of them reminds me of this person, and that. And it's so hard for me to see people as unique, extant creatures now. Not always. Some people are different and new and exciting. Some people are familiar and new and exciting. Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about this year so far. Normally fall hits and I get a little freaked out because, oh my god, another year has gone by, summer's gone, spring is gone, I'm just left with fall, and then maybe a little winter. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Where's it going? How did I waste so much time? I wanted to do this and do that, and look at all these opportunities I've squandered. And I'm doing that a little bit this year. Mostly because I'm looking at things I wrote from my last relationship, and I'm feeling guilty about ways that we could have or should have broken things off sooner, ways that we could have done it in a healthier way, ways that I could have been more cooperative and more helpful instead of stubborn and resistant, and that's been eating at me a lot. But besides that, I'm doing financially way better than I was at the beginning of the year. I'm not contented, but it feels good. And emotionally, I'm doing better than I have been in years. Like years. And I'm really riding that, and I don't feel like it's just the spontaneous thing that's happened, but a consequence of the work I put in to try to take care of myself and balance certain things out in my life and be more intentional about certain things. I'm like real proud of that. So, it's October, and there's more I want to do. I'm excited and anxious to do it, and I kind of just want to get to the point where I'm already doing it and it's routine and I don't even have to think about it anymore. But I'm not at a point where I'm like, I've done enough. It's good enough. Like, I'm not feeling that at all. It's very, very nice. I don't like 3, I don't like 6. Should I just wait? Let's click on this. Okay, that did not help my conundrum at all. Okay. I've talked about this with a few people, but I don't think this is really public knowledge. The whole me being pan thing was a long time coming. Obviously, but I took forever to talk to anyone about it. I'm so fucking private and nervous and shy that I take so long to come out to people about things. Whether it be my religion or the fact, or lack of, or the fact that I'm just anything. I don't talk. I listen for a long, long time when I first get to know people, for the most part. I'm trying to feel things out and figure out what's going on, so I don't make any mistakes, or I make fewer mistakes, and I can just kind of seamlessly integrate. Which, yeah. Never mind. But looking back, it's pretty obvious. But I was raised very Christian. Not overly conservative, but very Christian. Quite conservative. And God, it just fucks you up. It really does. having this internalized voice that tells you that wanting things that you want, or liking people that you like, or loving things that you love is bad, or is like not of you, but is like devilish or demonic influence or sinful temptation that you have to resist. I would have been such a fucking happier kid if it weren't for that goddamn religion. I would have not been embarrassed or afraid of my first crushes. I would have talked about having feelings for boys when I was like, 11 and 12, and girls too, and I don't think I knew anyone who was gender non-conforming yet, but that would have been a thing if I had. I wish I had felt okay to talk about that and share that, and instead of feeling terrified and ashamed and embarrassed and like I just had to hide it. And like as a kid, as a teenager, really, I navigated all of these things so quietly and so on my own. And what's worse is, not only was I alone, but I was actively in denial to the point where, I participated in a lot of bigoted language use, and not action, but language use and culture. Which I deeply am ashamed of and regret, and I mean, I know why I did, and it makes sense, and I forgive dumb little young Alex for not knowing better, or not whatever, but it's frustrating. And I'm complaining about this, but I'm pretty fortunate to live in this time. I'm pretty fortunate to live in a society, and I know the United States is far from the most progressive society, but we do have a, historically speaking, fairly progressive society, at least in the context of the rest of modern history, or Western civilization's history anyway. I am fairly fortunate. But I still am mad that I didn't start talking about and thinking about and processing things earlier. It would have been really nice to, like, just be able to talk about things and be myself somewhere outside of my own head. Man, we are not getting that next island. I almost fucking guarantee it. I want it, but it ain't happening. Yeah. When I went off to liberal arts school in Arizona and I came back, I had a lot of deprogramming to do. And that's a lot of what happened at that school, is a lot of deprogramming and unlearning of things that I had been taught, which had no factual basis, or were completely mired in slanderous whatever. And when I came back to Indiana, when I came back to my friends, one of my friends talked about how much school had changed me. Not cool anymore. You're fucking downer. Don't like all these bigoted jokes or points of view. It was more progressive and more, yeah. I was opening up a lot to who I was, what I was feeling, what I was thinking, what I really valued, and unlearning things I've just been told to repeat or parrot. Directly or indirectly. And that bothered me. It really bothered me because I'm a better person for going to school. I'm a better person for going to college. Abso-fucking-lutely. Now, do I have a degree? No. Do I think it has any value? Not really. I think it's a bureaucratic check and balance that sometimes has value in certain circumstances, but honestly, nah. The real benefit of going to school was the learning and the cultural experience and the social experience. During my life, I've never really looked forward to being an adult. As a child, as a teenager, as a preteen, I did, because I wanted to be taken seriously. I wanted people to listen to what I had to say, because we marginalize and ignore children and minors in this country so much. We abuse them so much and give them so much shit. Like, we are pretty awful to our children in this country. Just broadly speaking, the public school system, the way we talk about or conceptualize children or intelligence or what they're qualified to think about and talk about, what they can and cannot have an opinion on, the fact that they have to exist and adhere to society's laws, but they have no real representation or voice, even though they are mentally as capable as some members of Congress or some presidents. That drove me abso-fucking-lutely crazy as a kid. Still bugs me now, but, you know, I'm on the other side of the boat now, and... it doesn't seem as pressing because it's not directly affecting me anymore. That's the honest truth of it. Yeah, I wish I had gotten an earlier start in so many ways, and so many things. Like, if I could go back in time, holy shit, knowing what I know now, I would not even like, I'd buy Bitcoin, mine Bitcoin, and I'd buy SpaceX stock, and I'd invest in Tesla. No, I mean, maybe, but my regrets are not financial. I don't want to go back in time and become rich. I want to go back in time and out myself way earlier. I want to study more and harder and treat people better. Just treat people like so much better. And I know it's a good sign that I can look back and recognize the growth that I've done and the ways I've changed, and that I can appreciate the gravity and significance of my life. But man, sometimes the brain just wants to fixate and not allow me to forgive myself for certain things. Or yeah. I'm not talking about anything like dark and sinister. I mean just like stupid things. Small things. I'm not unhappy with who I am. I like me. I really do. I wish, really, that I had liked myself more. quit trying to change and control and deny myself. To hide myself. You can't go back in time. You can't change it. You can't do it all over again. But you have today, you have tomorrow, and hopefully you have the rest of your life, right? You can change, and hopefully you will change. Because a life spent unchanging sounds pretty boring and depressing. Oh my god, I should have been putting them in here this whole time. Well, better late than never. I don't know what that's gonna look like 3 months from now, 6 months from now. I have some vague ideas. I have some things bumping around in my head. Things I want to do, things I want to try, things I want to learn about and think about. And some of them are pretty big. Some of them are like really big. I'm downplaying it a little bit. Some of them are like exhaustingly big, but I'm doing okay. Doing pretty okay. How do you measure, by what metric do you measure success in life? That's a question I've thought about a lot growing up and a lot as an adult. Growing up, it was because I wanted to be a success. I wanted to be seen and appreciated and recognized as a success. Why? I don't really know. I wanted to be approved of, and maybe that's what it stemmed from. Maybe it was just recognition, or wanting to be seen and wanting to be appreciated and whatever else. The way that we teach history, the way that we teach about society to our children in schools is that only great men are remembered, only great people, good, profound, rare actors are remembered. Those who monumentally, irrevocably changed the landscape, geography that we all share. And through that lens, the only means of success is that exceptionalism. Is this elitism built into the way that we are taught to think. I don't want to be the best. I want to be the best me, or better me. I want to be a different me. I really liked someone, I'll call them Pearl, because I don't know what they're going by now. Either I don't know their current pronouns, and I don't know their current name. It's been a few years. It's been quite a few years. But Pearl and I had at least one conversation where we talked about love. And they told me, very insistently and rightfully, that I deserved love. And I didn't believe it. I know, boo-hoo, that's so sad, Alex, but I genuinely, at the time, I didn't think anyone deserved love, because that's what fucking Christianity teaches you. No one is deserving of God's love. No one is deserving of redemption. No one's deserving it. That love is a gift, and love is charity, and love is something you should be grateful for. Yeah, you should be grateful for love. It is something you give. It is something that you share. It is something powerful and significant and weighted and potent, meaningful. But fuck you. And it's not the fault of the text itself. When Jesus was asked what the most important commandment was, what the most important dictate from God was, if all else do this one thing, what is that? What is the fundamental basis of Christian theology, of his teaching? Right? Love thy neighbor. Right? That's it. That's not so bad. But then you couple that with the, well, no one really deserves love horseshit, and you start losing me. But I hate that I told this person, Pearl, this beautiful, kind, passionate, amazing person, something like that. I hate that there was a point in my life, and really an extended period in my life, where I fundamentally believed that I did not deserve love. That love was not something you could intrinsically have a right to. Maybe we don't have a right to be loved, but we have a need for it. We desperately have a need for it. People have a right to make meaningful and powerful social connections. People have the right to socialize and connect and belong. Yeah, we're not making it. I didn't set us up for a temple. If I put it in here, we would be set, but this is nearing the end here, so it's a bit of a shame. Not a huge shame, because it's getting late and I'm getting grumpy. No, I'm not really. I'm doing pretty well. It's okay to be afraid. Like, really, it's okay to be afraid. It makes sense to be afraid. Fear is something evolution programmed into us for very good reason. You don't need to be embarrassed about being afraid or being unsure or being cautious. But you do need to own it. You need to take responsibility for why you are afraid. What's causing that fear, how you're reacting to it, and how you're handling it. And you need to take responsibility for not letting it control you and destroy you. Other people can help a little bit, sure. At the end of the day, it's you. And I've not always done the best job at it. Hell, I may not even be doing a great job in my life right now. I have plenty of room for improvement. But a little bit of bravery can make a world of difference. A little bit of bravery, a little bit of audacity, a little bit of small risk. Can really, really, genuinely make all the difference in the world. So there's an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and if you haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, dude, just stop watching this and go watch it. It is an amazing show. It is pretty incredible. One of the characters comes out as bi. For spoiler reasons, I'm not going to say who or when or why or what capacity, but the response of another character is that every time somebody comes out, the world becomes a slightly more complicated, more interesting, and more beautiful place. Now I'm paraphrasing. But I think that's very fundamentally true. Not just coming out sexually or with your gender identity or religious or spiritual pathos. Those are all vulnerable, scary, important things, but really, anyone who dares to be themselves in a way that is respectful and kind and loving and generous, anyone who contributes their identity to the human experience, to the human record, to the human existence, is doing an amazing thing. Because we're all just a little bit different. Just a little bit. And sometimes imperceptibly different. But it's there. If we were all the same, we wouldn't have art, and we wouldn't have music, and we wouldn't have love, we wouldn't have gone into space, we wouldn't be exploring the universe. We are our differences. The different beauties that we see that other people don't see. The ways that we can teach each other and share with each other, those are the things that make us pretty fucking magnificent as a species. Unless you chew out loud, in which case that's just bad. If you chew with your mouth open, is not a beautiful contribution. You know, not everything's a good contribution, but it does make the experience more interesting, huh? Chiaroscuro and all of that. So I'm genuinely surprised I haven't lost yet. I think we may get to the next island. Maybe? But I'm pushing it. This is already a long episode. It's an hour and a half long. Fuck, man. Alright, I've been playing slowly and, I guess, half decently, as opposed to the rush jobs I've been doing lately. Someone commented on yesterday's video talking about being impressed with how vulnerable and deep I was being. I would never describe myself as deep, but that's an accurate word to use. I think I don't know. I don't know what deep means. I don't know what I guess it's the opposite of being shallow, right? And being shallow is focusing on emotional stimulus, on inconsequential things, on things that are like satisfying and fun, like sugar, caffeine, or bright lights, or pink, or you know, not that pink can't be deep, but I'm trying to describe a feeling, or a nebulous feeling, more than any specific thing by throwing these out there. I think that's shallow, right? And depth is vulnerability, and depth is size like that. It's vulnerability and expression and openness. Being not fun sometimes, but I found it quite it was quite a compliment. Made me very happy. thanks again. But they said that it seemed like they could never do that. They felt like they could never just, I don't know, spill their guts. Dog, it's easy. Like, I'm coming from a platform of nothing really matters, and like, people who care already know most of this stuff, and if I attract people who care who I didn't know before, that's fucking great. And if I put off people who thought that they liked me before but didn't actually, well, you know, them's the breaks, dog. That's life. And I'm glad we could recognize our differences and go our separate ways sooner rather than later, right? But if this sort of shit is something you're interested in doing, is in developing and honing your ability to speak and feel and express, practice. I know, that's fucking useless advice. Everybody tells you that about everything in life, and yeah, it's just as easy as doing it. Thanks, Alex. But seriously, in part it is. Write a little. Write a little more. Write a little more. Right now, I'm trying to get myself to a point where I'm writing at least a little bit every day, and it's fucking hard. But if you write and start getting a good feeling for your internal language, your internal landscape, different people conceptualize reality and in drastically different ways. Some people have internalized voices, some people don't. Some people have, human psychology is fucking fascinating and weird. But basically, get a grip on a good sense for how you think and how you feel and how you interpret things and experience things. And then try to find words that fit those feelings or those concepts or those nebulous things. And it's okay to be inexact. It's very okay to be inexact. I didn't want that there. I wanted the 14. Oh, misclick! Look at this bad game player. Man, he's not good at the video games. I will leave a nasty comment. It is inexact. I don't know what the hell that voice was. But, yeah, talking and writing, they help. Listening helps a lot, too. It really does. Because if you're reading or listening or whatever, and you're really doing a good job of it, you'll find things that resonate with you, and you'll find things that echo with you and seem true to you, to your experience, to your life. And you can think about the way that those things were expressed, the way that those things were explored or introduced or shared, and try to figure out how did that click into place? What about that thing worked well for me? And then you can reverse engineer it and do it yourself. Just that easy. A lot of communicating is wrapped up in mindfulness. Being aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you intend to relay with your words. And if the words and actions and tone that you're choosing is helping you, or are hindering you in that capacity. Because you can feel something so fucking strongly and just not be able to articulate it, right? Like that's children scream. People with anger issues can sometimes have those anger issues tied to frustration, not being able to be heard or communicate, and people not understanding or whatever else. I think everybody wants to be seen, or appreciated, or loved, on some level or another. We're very communal creatures. We're very social creatures. We have these reward structures programmed into us to make us thrive when we get that outside affirmation. Man, I really should have just thrown. This is gonna go on for a while. It's already gone on for a while, so enjoy, YouTube. Today you are not getting shafted by a short episode, quite the opposite. It's like... Oh, I'm over the time, huh? It's 12:16. I should be cooking and heading to bed soon, but instead I'm spending time with you. Oh god, I don't want to keep going. I don't want to fuck around with the water plateaus anymore. Yeah, so I might throw here before too long, but I think mercifully you'll understand why. So in summary, I'm doing well. Trying to take care of myself. Trying to get to know myself. Winky face. I'm trying to not put things off anymore. Not put things off. Not tell myself there will be time for it later, because there might not be time for it later. Trying to be more authentically and openly who I am, how I am, like what I like without worrying about who's gonna get offended. Okay, here's a prime example of this. I'm not super horny on main, but I think I'm gonna be, because I'm getting pretty fucking tired of alt accounts and on this account I'll post this, but on this account I won't post it. Listen, if you don't like that I am a sexual creature, you don't like the things that I like in the same way, totally cool, totally cool. You don't have to look at it. You can you can not engage with that. It's not going to become a who knows. I have no intention for it to infringe on this platform, but what is the expression? The future is an unknown country? I don't fucking know what is or is not going to happen. But yeah, I'm kind of tired of not just being shameless about that, because it's who gives a fuck? I mean, my concern is my extended family who follow me might be like, oh lord, and clutch at pearls, but like, that's on them. I need to not take responsibility and ownership for that. Yeah. If you want to be a part of my life, you're welcome to it. Probably. I mean, it's not an invitation. It's kind of an invitation, like trying to, but yeah, it's a pretty close-off invitation. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm finally out of patience. Maybe that's why I'm being like, oh, you know what, fuck this and fuck that. I'm gonna like the porn I like and talk about politics, even if, especially when it's controversial, and I'll just be unapologetically myself to a fault. Like, because listen, man, the Amazon rainforest is still on fire. the fucking planet is dying. Our president is somehow still in office and has... It's just... The world kind of sucks in so many ways, and things can be so dystopian sometimes, and I need to just not care about some stuff. I need to let go of caring about who cares what I think is hot or not, or being afraid of judgment, or whatever else, because Doesn't really matter. None of this matters. It don't matter. None of this matters. We're all gonna die. The totality of human civilization will eventually fade from the galactic memory, or intergalactic, or universal memory, as stars go supernova, planets' crusts turn over and renew, and slowly but surely everything is consumed bit by bit, subatomic particle by subatomic particle, into entropy. So, you know, not really uplifting, but like, hey, go like what you like. Be gay, do crime. It don't matter. I mean, it matters a little bit. Don't hurt people. Be kind, because, you know, we're all stuck in this meaningless void together, but, you know, try to enjoy the ride, I guess. Now, I would advocate not getting off of the ride early, because, dude, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. And nothing is not better than something. Nothing is nothing. And with something, it can always change. Matter and reality, life, malleable. So malleable. Things can always change. For better or for worse. You're not stuck in the circumstances that you feel trapped in. Now, it might be really fucking hard to get out of. And change might not be what you had in mind. But to some degree, it's possible. You too can eat the rich. Don't have to content yourself for not cannibalism. Oh, my brain is running out of steam. I feel like this has injected enough positivity into it, right? Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Yo, and if you're not sure what you want, if you're not sure what your truth or truths are, if you don't know what ways you're different or special or unique or noteworthy or significant, I mean, dog, you might not be. Most of us really aren't, in the grand scheme of things. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just like what you like, as long as it isn't hurting anybody. Try to find people that you connect with if you want, or, you know, do your own thing if that's what you want to do. Try to fucking enjoy it. Yeah. The thing is, I'm hyping myself up. I'm like, yeah. Listen, I'm not quitting my job that I don't love. I can't advocate that you do the same. Just because I'm encouraging you to be unapologetically yourself, or at least less apologetically yourself, does not mean that things are going to spontaneously change overnight if you decide to start moving in that direction. It's going to be time and effort and fucking work, and it's going to be exhausting, because every goddamn thing is. There we go. That's more of an Alex takeaway than live your truth, be your best self. God, I always hated that expression, to live your best life. Bitch, this ain't my best life. I live in a capitalist dystopia. What about this is best? My best life is just consuming things in a way that feeds into this destructive method of consumption in a way that I find most distracting or pleasing, but ultimately is just as intrinsically horrifying. What then are you advocating, Alex? Fucking... I don't know. There you go. I don't fucking know. Just do your thing. Do what you wanna do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. It's your thing, it's your thing. Do what you wanna do now. How do I not remember who that is? Nope. Nope. Just put me out of my suffering. I know, I'm advocating just minutes ago. Like, hey, play the game, even if it's not great, because once the game is over, there's nothing left. But, you know, there's actually something after this game. Is the rest of my day. Oh my god, this is 2 hours. I should have just fucking streamed at this point. I could have put up, like, 4 half-hour episodes. And, oh, I thought I was saving time this way and being clever. Well, no, the reason I did this, God, I'm having to remind myself this has gone on for so long, is because you were uploading stuff to share with someone, and yeah. Okay, now I lose. Right? Because I can't get a positive on this because I could have... Not yet, Alex. You don't get to die yet. But you probably do now. At least it's not a temple, and you are not set up for a temple at all, so... Swing low, sweet chariot. God, this is an ugly town, isn't it? I don't like the aesthetic I'm going for here at all. I haven't really been thinking about it and looking at it, but now I'm taking it in. It's not good. It's no bueno. I wish that I had really a lot of my regrets come down to not being more kind or more queer, really. Both of those, more gay and more nice. I'll be real with you though, I kinda hate queer culture. Like, it's never resonated with me, and that it always kind of pushed me away. The mainstream queer culture really did not help me with coming to terms with my identity or coming out. If anything, it like really turned me off. Yeah. Hey, if it helped you, that's great, but, not me, compadre, not me. Alright, we're done. We're done. Oh, I probably could have made that work, but my brain is fried. Holy shit. That was long. Name of your sex tape. Yeah, hopefully I'll be streaming tomorrow. Wow. 8-ish, 9-ish in the morning, because I should be off of work at 6, unless somebody's still sick and they actually ask me to stay late, in which case, fuck you. I guess I'll probably end up doing that. Might not make it home till 10, and they better not fucking ask me. Because I'm a nice person, I'll help, but I don't wanna. Yeah, I might stream. Might not. Guess we'll find out. Like who you like what you like, do it unapologetically, support other people, be nice, be kind, don't hurt each other. Simple shit. Hard to do, but simple shit. Make art. And, do what you can to contribute to, let's see if I can actually get it right this time, fully automated luxury gay space communism? Did I do that right? Hold on. Fully automated luxury, no. It's not just luxury communism, it's gay space communism. Yeah, I got that right. Yeah. You can be the future, kids. Alright, I'm out of here. See you later. Toodaloo. Take care. See you later. Oh, I said that already. Bye-bye.